Hey, what's up, Nathan? Quick demo video for you for your Starfall Saber here. I've been working on and off on this guy for the last couple weeks. Doing a little bit here and there because I had to do quite a bit of stuff just to get this install ready. But I finished it up today, so I want to go over it with you, right? This install with the Proffie V2. It's got the CCSabers LEDs in here that you wanted. So that's in there. Your blade retention, it's going to remain this guy right here. Didn't mess with that. You've got a 2-button setup. So I went through and I put these switches in. This was just a solid plate when it came to me. So I'll show you the chassis and then I'll tell you what I did to the Saber. When this chassis comes, you're gonna have a bolt right here or a screw right here. You take that out and then this slides right off. And then you see your chassis comes out just like this. It's removable, obviously, right? So you got your Proffie board right here. Easy access to your micro USB, but you'll need to come in here with a pair of tweezers or something and just pop it up from the corner. That board will just pop up just like that for you. It's an extremely tight press fit down into the shelf. So when you're done doing your config, you can just snap it back into place. It's super tight. That's how I like to make them. I don't like using glue or tape if I can get away with it, right? And I was able to here. And then there's just a little bit of aesthetics on the rest of your chassis here. You do have a 28mm Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker. I did glue this ring on the front of the chassis or on the front of the speaker so that I could have something to press up against this pommel cap, and it actually pushes up against it and it locks it in place onto those 14 pins. The inside diameter of this guy was not quite big enough to make this chassis wrap around the entire speaker and go forward. So I needed to make a separate ring for that to hold everything in place there. So that's what I did. And then you've got a removable battery system. Spring side over here is your negative, right? So that's your chassis. You got your 14-pin PCB in there. That'll never come out. You can see where that diameter change is in there for the actual Saber. That's where those pins start. So my other chassis piece is about that long right there, right? From right here to right here. When it came to this plate, I had to take this plate off. It was glued down, but I was able to pry it off. I drilled these holes for these tactile switches here. So now these are JB welded actually on the other side of this plate. And then on the actual handle, there was no hole there, right? So I had to come in with a Dremel, and I Dremeled out a significantly large rectangular hole so that these switches could fit in and I wouldn't have any problems there. When it came to these 2 screws though, that are holding the plate on, this one right here wasn't an issue because it actually goes in between my chassis, right? So it's not interfering with anything, it's fine. This one though, it was protruding into the handle chamber. It was getting in the way of my chassis. And as you can see from right here, this material is not very thick. Even one thread, I mean, I cut this guy down to 1 thread, screwed it into place, it was still protruding a little bit into the handle. So what I did was I just cut all the threads off this guy. This guy's holding the plate on. I also adhesed the plate down all throughout the handle on the underside right here. And then I glued this head of the screw on just for aesthetics so it matches, right? So everything is nice and firm and secure. It's put on there with CA glue. It's not coming off on you, but this isn't actually screwed into the handle, this guy right here. Just wanted you to know that, all right? So that's what we've got here. So we'll take your chassis and we'll throw a battery in it. We're on the stock fonts, right? Just like that, you have motion controls, but your sensitivity, I just bumped it up to 3.6 to do the demo. I know that you're gonna go in and do your own thing anyway, so that's fine. And you've got motion controls. So we'll come in here, we're gonna throw this guy on, line it up. There's 1 hole to line it up with right here. There's actually 2 holes on this handle. If you'll look, there's a hole right here, and then there's a hole over here where this set screw is. So I like to use the one where the set screw is. I haven't even tried the other one. I've been using this one and it works for me, and that's what I modeled it around. So that's what I'm using. So I'm gonna line up that hole there. Now I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna lock this pommel cap down. A little bit of doom, but not bad, right? So we've got that locked down. LEDs working. Nice smooth swing. Auxiliary. Twist off. Or if you didn't want to do that, you could use the activation button right here. And then tap it again to turn it off. And we'll put a blade in. So this is a super tight blade socket. What I like to do is I'll just turn the Saber on as I'm putting my blade in, and then when it makes contact, I'll stop, because it's you've got plenty of blade depth, everything's lined up correctly. I tried pushing this in without turning the Saber on, and I can't even feel when I'm hitting those PCBs. So I don't want to stress them. I'll just go like this, come in here, make contact, right? So we'll go to next sound font.
Smooth fuzz. Road commander.
Next one. I really hate this one.
See. Smooth Jedi.
You do have battle mode. I put that on all my configs. I don't know what you're gonna do with yours. So you can see they're all working. I actually have a delay on one of those fonts. So I'm gonna go back and look at that. I don't cycle through the stock fonts too often. I'll go look at that and see what's going on. They all seem to be working right. So I will not send this out to you right away. I'll send it out later on today. And that'll be a quick little something for me to look at. It won't take long just to see what's going on. It is in the font package that I have, not in the Saber functionality. So that's really just gonna be for me to see what I'm using there. But to get the battery out, we'll just do the same thing. We're gonna come in and we're gonna loosen this guy up a little bit, or actually take it all the way out. It's not very long, so you want to be careful that you don't lose it. It's this long right here. So you want to be careful you don't lose that guy. Slide this out, and then this should fall right into your hand, or at least that far, and you can go ahead and pull it out. It's a snug fit, but everything fits like it should. And then we'll come in here from the positive side and just pop the battery out just like that. So that's your Saber. Let me know if you got any questions. I'm going to test it just a little while longer before I package it up, and then I'll get this out in the mail to you tomorrow. All right, thanks.